Hey everybody, Mags here. We are going to review some of the hints and tips that we've been given this year on the Dynasty Hotseat. If you are new here, do me a favor, can you like, comment, share on this video for me, please, like you can see here. And then also, if you're new here, why not hit that subscribe button too? It really helps out. Right, on to the hints and tips.
But I think the things I've learned, so for me, when I was thinking about tips for today, I was thinking, the word that popped into my head was balance. Was like, you're always looking for balance, right? No matter whether that's when you're doing your draft, are you looking at the season ahead? Are you looking 2 seasons ahead, 3 seasons ahead? What can you do? What can you fix? What can you kind of hit straight away and sort of thing? But also in terms of balance as you're playing, because I think you'll always identify your strengths and weaknesses almost straight away after that initial draft. And then you'll kind of already have in mind what you're looking at the end of that season. And I think I've heard you talk about it, but identifying those guys that are coming up this year and sort of saying, can I identify them straight away? Can I do that research and find out what's coming, And I was really strong at wide receiver. It was my first season. I found that the draft, the way it fell, the position I was really strong at wide receiver. I didn't think I could win that first season. I definitely didn't. I almost finished bottom. But the second season, I think I managed to add some depth at running back. I managed to add some depth at QB. And then I kind of was able to make a trade. And that kind of brings me on to the second thing that I was thinking about when I thought about what I like to do when I'm playing Dynasty. And I put know your enemy because for me, I think it's so important because it's not redrafting, because everyone starts with a sort of structure. So the core of your team, everyone's got their core, and that's their core going forward now. Yeah. It's not going to change next year. You can get to know everyone's team. You can get to know the people that you're playing with behavior as well, which I think is such a big thing, because there will be, every league has this. There'll be someone who just flings trades at you constantly, whether they know you, whether they've never met you in their life. Yeah,
that's me.
You're waving at me now to kind of indicate that that's you, but there will be those people, and I think you get to know that and you can hopefully use it to your advantage. And you got to know that everyone's doing it for you as well. I think I'm someone who's played that quite tight in my experience so far in Dynasty, in terms of trying to make that trade. When I touched on the kind of squad that I have, there was a big trade in our league where I ended up with Austin Eckler, and I gave up quite a lot of draft capital. Was that your?
That was
remember
me.
Who it was.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it was one of those things where the trade ended up working. It was a trade that ended up working for everyone, and going back and forth on it, identifying that Eckler would help me. I had a chance to win this season. I made the playoffs, and I knew that midway through, I thought, I've got a chance here. This trade could really help me. And I think that's the thing about knowing everyone and knowing that they'll come back and what they need and what you need is really important. And identifying your league and just keeping track of other results as well. It's really easy to kind of set your lineup, watch your score, and then be happy or sad and get ready for the waiver, the next week. Keeping an eye on the rest of the league is such a big thing for me.
Absolutely. Like even the trade you just talked about, where I think I was sending Austin Eckler and getting back, I think, Jerry Jeudy and some picks on top of that. I was in a position where I think my IR was full, and then I had people spilling over onto my bench who were still injured. So I thought, the exact opposite of you. Is like, well, I'm not going to win this year. There's no chance I can do it. So what am I going to do? I need to sell my oldest running back, Eckler, because he's still got a lot of value. So I need to get him out the door and think about how I will replace him. And there's no point in me replacing him this year. So I thought, well, I'll get some picks for down the line and there'll be a young receiver just on top of that. So you're right. It's all about knowing your enemy and knowing your team. That's the second week now. Shang Shu has come up from the RO.
I know. I don't have the book here. I've got the Beastie Boys book down there somewhere, but that's about the. I don't think there's any tips for fantasy, but maybe there is.
You never know. You dig deep enough.
I think the last thing for me, and it leads off of that, what we just talked about, is kind of don't be stubborn. Is one of the big things for me. Is kind of, do you know what? You might have a plan at the start, but I think was it Mike Tyson? Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face, you know. And I think like if you've got that plan, be ready to change it, you know. And that goes for everything. Goes for your draft. You might be sitting mock drafting in a certain position. You come to the real thing, it doesn't go your way, you know. Don't be stubborn. Don't get caught up doing something you don't want to do. Same with trades. Same with cutting people from your roster as well, especially. I think that's such a big thing that I found in Dynasty in year 2 now, is you've unearthed a few hidden gems, but your roster's almost full, you know, and then you're looking ahead to what's coming soon and who can I get rid of here? And one of the ones, and we'll probably talk about him as we go forward, but my initial draft, I grabbed Gabe Davis. And now there's been times that I've thought, is he going to make the grade here? Is he going to come good? And then back end of this season, you go, yeah, there's no way I'm getting rid of him. You know, he's in place for quite a while now. So things like that, I think your stubbornness can cost you, you know, and that's, I think trades wise, especially, it can be really easy just to click no, you know, without considering and having a look and what can I go back with and being there rather than saying, no, I really like this guy. I want to keep hold of him, you know. Don't be too stubborn.
No, I think that's 3 really, really important things to consider. Just, you know, no one should be, you know, on your team for life. Sometimes an offer is just too good to turn down, and you don't want to just not consider someone just because, you know, you like that player. Or you also on the flip side of, you know, your Gabe Davis situation, you might have a situation where you're thinking, oh, this player's here, are they going to come good? Are they coming good? If you get rid of them, then whoever picks them up has now just got that exact same problem, and they've got this difficult situation to deal with. So I think at the start I was worried if I released someone would automatically just snap them up, and it doesn't always happen. Sometimes they just sit on waivers and you can pick them up again or move them around again. So it's being brave enough not to be stubborn. I think that's absolutely spot on.
That's it. The goldfish stuff as well, you know, like dropping a guy and just forgetting about him, you know. Don't keep track of him, where he goes and how he beats you or anything like that. You know, he's gone. Just move on, like figure out your forward momentum rather than what you could have had, sort of thing.
Yeah, I've still got to do that with Antonio Brown in our league. I still haven't dropped him, but that'll be in the next few days thing. Okay, brilliant. Well, Mike, thank you so much for your top tips. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Remember, like this video, leave a comment if you want, and subscribe to the channel. These videos are going to be coming thick and fast, so you don't want to miss anything. So that's it for today. In the meantime, keep yourselves, keep your teams lit. We'll see you next time.